Additionally, we can texture paint the high poly sculpt in the paint workspace with the very same tools we would use on a low polygon paint object. The difference is you're painting on the vertices of the model rather than UVs. I need to hide this paint object first. To do that, I need to go to the Paint Objects panel and click the visibility icon. I'll go to the View menu and I'm going to check Show Voxels in Paint Workspace. Now I'm seeing the voxel object. If I want, I can texture paint now on top of the PBR shader. So let's say maybe I want his eyes to be a stone texture. I can pick some type of a stonework material. You can see a preview, reset. I can adjust my roughness. And if I only want to paint with color, I can do that by disabling these other channel options. I can disable depth and glossiness and only see color. If I want to fill the entire thing, there are a couple different ways that I can apply it. I want to make sure that I'm on the right layer first. And you also want to make sure your layer has the proper amount of opacity and it's in the right blending mode. If it's hidden like this, you won't see anything. And it's because, again, the layer needs to be visible, as well as your channels that you want to utilize. They need to be enabled. And you may want to check your opacity. So I find that when working with smart materials, it's always a good idea to do a little bit of a pre-flight checklist. I'll proceed and just start painting. Going back to the point about filling an entire object, I can always right-click on the smart material and choose to fill the entire layer. Also, you can use the fill tool and just click on the object. And so now when I go to baking, I'll get both the PBR shader and smart materials or any other paint that I may want to apply. So let me get out of this smart material and I'll paint with white, and let's turn our metalness up. So I'm going to increase my depth value. I'll choose something like that. Maybe a stamp. Okay, and if I want to, I can adjust and see the depth changes on the fly. So this is your sculpt layers in action. It works on your paint objects exactly the same way. So there is a lot of consistency there. You just need to name the voxel layers that you're painting with. If you have a paint object and a voxel object in the same scene and both have layers with some paint on it, it's always a good idea to name those differently. So for example, vox as a prefix, test. And if you're using just a sculpt layer, you might also add an SL prefix or suffix, something like that. That's easy to identify here. And I can just clear that layer by hitting the delete key. Whatever channels are enabled, if I have any information on those channels, it will clear them from that layer. So as you can see, it's very versatile. It allows you to do your texture work while you're sculpting at the same time with the same brush stroke, whether you're working on a low polygon paint object or a high polygon sculpt object. Before we wrap up here, I just want to try and bring some clarity to the topic of using different mesh types in other workspaces. In general, as I mentioned before, they are designed to work in their respective workspaces, meaning if you want to texture paint on a low polygon UV mapped model, you would go directly into the paint workspace from the file menu or the splash screen, do your texture painting there, and then just export from the file menu. If you want to sculpt on a low polygon model that you created in another application, you would import that into the sculpt workspace. But as I mentioned previously, if you want to use that low polygon mesh as your baking target, you would want to import it here into the Retopo workspace, and then bring a copy of that into the sculpt workspace through the geometry menu, Retopo mesh to sculpt mesh. From there, once you have done all your sculpting, you'll be ready to do your baking from the bake menu. In the process, it's going to send a copy of this Retopo mesh to the paint workspace to where it will then be a paint object. That means you can actually see that object not only in the paint workspace, but the tweak room and the UV room. All right, let me hide the paint object. I can see my sculpt object here, but not in the UV room or the tweak room, because as I mentioned earlier in the previous video, that the UV and the tweak room are companion workspaces for paint objects. While I'm here, let me unhide the paint object. You can make gradient selections or just standard selections with this menu here, or you can use some basic sculpting tools to make edits to your low polygon paint object. And that's about all you can do. If you want to do advanced sculpting, you want to send a copy to the sculpt workspace. Okay. And as I mentioned previously, if you want to edit your UVs on a Retopo mesh, you already have UVs here. As of this recording, the UV workspace is only designed for paint objects, and that is it. The render workspace is for rendering anything that's visible. You can render a sculpt object and a paint object simultaneously. You can also check here to show Retopo mesh, but make sure to check out the video that goes into this in more detail. And that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.